The hospital hallway smelled like bleach and fear. My hands would not stop shaking. I pressed them together and whispered, "Please be okay, Mom. Please." A doctor had just walked away after saying, "Your mother needs surgery soon." We caught it late. Late. The word kept echoing in my head. My phone buzzed. An email from my boss. I opened it with numb fingers. "Due to company downsizing, your position has been terminated effective immediately." I laughed under my breath. Of course. Why not today? I stepped toward the window and called Daniel. He answered after 3 rings. "Mia, I'm in the middle of something." "Daniel," I said, trying to breathe. "I lost my job." Silence. Then a sigh. "What do you mean you lost it?" "They cut my position. And my mom, she's in the hospital. She needs surgery." He was quiet again, but not the worried kind. The annoyed kind. "That's a lot," he muttered. "I know. I need you right now. Can you come?" "I can't," he said quickly. "I have a dinner with investors." I pressed my forehead to the cold glass. "Daniel, my mom might not wake up without surgery." "You're being dramatic." His words hit harder than the doctor's. "I'm not dramatic," I whispered. "I'm scared." He exhaled sharply. "Mia, every time something goes wrong, it becomes the end of the world with you." "What is that supposed to mean?" "It means I'm tired," he snapped. "I can't do this anymore." My heart stopped. "Do what?" "This," he said. "The constant crisis. The pressure. You're too much right now." "Too much." I felt like the floor disappeared under me. "So you're leaving? Because my mom is sick and I lost my job." "It's not just that. It's everything. I need peace. I need stability." "I've been with you for 4 years," I said. "I supported you when your first business failed. I stayed when you had nothing." "That was different." "How?" My voice cracked. "How is it different?" "I was building something. You're just falling apart." The hallway blurred. "I can't believe you're saying this. I didn't sign up to drown with you, Mia." "I'm not asking you to drown," I cried. "I'm asking you to hold my hand." "I can't," he said, colder now. "I'm sorry." "Daniel, please. Don't do this today. I need space. I need peace." "And what about me?" Silence. "Daniel. I hope things get better for you," he said softly, like he was talking to a stranger. Then the call ended. I stared at my reflection in the dark screen. Red eyes. Pale face. No job. A sick mother. No boyfriend. A nurse walked past me. "Are you okay?" I forced a nod. "Yeah, I'm fine." But I wasn't. I slid down against the wall and pulled my knees to my chest. The hallway felt colder now. "I have no one now," I whispered as I sat beside my mother's hospital bed, staring at the bill in my hand. "Miss Carter," the receptionist had said earlier, "the deposit is due by Friday." "Friday?" I asked. "That's 3 days." "I'm sorry. It's policy." Policy. That word felt heavier than the paper. I opened my banking app and whispered, "That's not enough. Not even close." I called Daniel again. Straight to voicemail. "Hey," I said after the beep, trying to sound calm. "I know things ended badly. I just need help with mom's surgery. We can talk later. Please call me." The message failed to send. Blocked. I laughed quietly. "Of course you did." I looked at the small gold bracelet on my wrist. Daniel had given it to me on our 2nd anniversary. "I guess you're paying for something useful now," I muttered. At the pawn shop, the man examined it. "I can give you 200. It's worth more." "Not to me." I swallowed my pride. "Fine." When he handed me the cash, I felt smaller somehow. Back at the hospital, I counted the money again. "Still not enough," I whispered. A soft voice spoke beside me. "You shouldn't carry all of that alone." I looked up. "I'm sorry. I've seen you here every day," she said gently. I'm Clara, one of the nurses. I'm Mia. You look exhausted, Mia. I forced a smile. I'm fine. She tilted her head. No, you're not. The honesty in her voice broke something inside me. I lost my job, I admitted. My boyfriend left. My mom needs surgery. I don't know what to fix first. She pulled a chair closer. You fix one thing at a time. I can't even fix myself. You're still here, she said. That means something. I shook my head. He said I'm too much. That I turn everything into a crisis. And do you? I don't know, I whispered. Maybe I do. She looked straight into my eyes. You're stronger than you think. I almost cried at that. Strong people don't feel like this. Strong people feel everything, she said softly. They just keep going anyway. Her words stayed with me. That evening, my landlord called. Mia, your rent is late. I know. I just need a little time. You've said that before. My mom is in the hospital. I lost my job. I'm sorry, but sympathy doesn't pay bills. If it's not paid by next week, I'll have to list the apartment. List it. My chest tightened. You mean eviction? I don't want it to come to that. After the call ended, I sat on my bed in the dark. Too much. Too emotional. Falling apart. Daniel's voice repeated in my head like a curse. I walked to the bathroom and stared at my reflection. My eyes were swollen. My shoulders looked smaller. Is he right? I asked the girl in the mirror. She didn't answer. I took a slow breath and wiped my face. If no one is coming to save me, I'll save myself. I was standing in the pharmacy line, counting coins in my palm, when I heard a familiar voice. Mia Carter. I froze. I turned slowly. Ethan. He smiled, surprised. Wow, it's really you. I tried to smile back. Yeah, it's me. He studied my face for a second. You okay? Of course, I said too quickly. Why wouldn't I be? You look like you haven't slept in days. I've been busy. With what? Life, I said quietly. He stepped out of line and joined me. I heard about your mom. Someone from college mentioned it. I stiffened. News travels fast. I'm sorry, he said gently. How is she? She needs surgery. I'm figuring it out. And work. You were at that marketing firm, right? Not anymore. He frowned. They let you go. Downsizing. That's stupid, he muttered. You carried half our projects in college. That was a long time ago. Talent doesn't expire. I looked away. It feels like mine did. He shook his head. What happened to you? Life happened, I said. And people leave when it gets hard. He didn't ask for details. I was grateful. After a moment, he said, I'm building something. What kind of something? A tech startup. Small team. Big risk. Bigger vision. That sounds stressful. It is, he admitted. But it's growing. That's good. I need someone who understands strategy, branding, someone who can see the bigger picture. I gave a weak laugh. You should hire someone stable. I'm trying to. I blinked. What? I want you to come work with us. The words hit me harder than I expected. Ethan, I can't. Why not? Because I don't need charity. His expression sharpened. This isn't charity. I remember how smart you are. I swallowed. You don't know who I am right now. Then tell me. I'm unemployed. I'm behind on rent. I'm barely holding it together. So, he said firmly, that doesn't erase your skills. You don't understand. Then help me understand. I hesitated. I don't want to fail again. You won't. You can't promise that. No, he admitted. But I can promise you won't be alone. That word almost broke me. I can't commit long term, I said carefully. My mom needs me. Then start temporary. Part-time. We'll adjust. Why are you doing this? Because I believe in you, he said simply. I stared at the floor. No one had said that to me in months. You'd really trust me with your company. I wouldn't offer if I didn't. My pride whispered no. My fear whispered run. But a small, quiet voice inside me whispered try. When would I start? I asked. He smiled slowly. Tomorrow. I let out a shaky breath. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I said, feeling something warm spark inside my chest. I'll do it. For the first time in weeks, I didn't feel completely lost on my first day. I stood outside Ethan's office door and whispered, "Don't mess this up." When I walked in, Ethan looked up and smiled. "You came." I said I would. Good. We move fast here. I'll try to keep up. You won't try, he said. You will. He introduced me to the team. This is Sophie Lynn, he said. Sophie gave me a small wave. So you're the marketing genius. I wouldn't go that far, I muttered. We'll see, she replied, eyes sharp but kind. And this, Ethan continued, is Mark Rivera. Mark crossed his arms. We needed experience. I have experience, I said calmly. In startups? He asked. No. He nodded once. That's what I thought. The word stung, but I forced myself to breathe. Ethan stepped in. Mia's here because I trust her. Mark shrugged. Trust doesn't scale. Results do. I'll focus on results, I said quietly. The first week nearly broke me. I worked mornings at the office, afternoons at the hospital. One night, I sat beside my mother's bed answering emails. Mia, she whispered, you look tired. I'm fine, Mom. You always say that. I got a job. Her eyes brightened. Really? Temporary, but it's something. I'm proud of you. Don't be, I said softly. I'm barely holding it together. You're holding, she replied. That's enough. The next day, Mark dropped a file on my desk. Investor pitch deck, he said. It's weak. You want me to fix it? I want to see if you can. I stayed late rewriting everything. Sophie rolled her chair beside me. You don't have to prove yourself in one night, she said. I do, I answered. To Mark. To myself. She studied me. You're harder on yourself than he is. Someone has to be. When I finally presented the revised strategy, my voice shook at first. This campaign doesn't just sell product, I explained. It sells vision. We show growth, not survival. Mark interrupted. That's risky. So is staying invisible, I replied. Ethan leaned forward. Go on. I finished the presentation and waited. Mark tapped the table. The projections. Page 12. He flipped through it. Silence stretched. Finally, he nodded once. It's solid. My shoulders loosened slightly. After work, I checked my phone. A photo of Daniel appeared on social media. He stood beside Vanessa Clark, smiling at some rooftop party. The caption read, New beginnings. I stared at it. Sophie glanced at my screen. X. Yeah. He upgraded financially, she said carefully. Did he? I whispered. Are you okay? I swallowed the ache. I will be. And I meant it. That night, Ethan stopped by my desk. You did well today. I was terrified. Good. That means it mattered. Mark still doubts me. Mark doubts everyone. Why don't you? He held my gaze. Because I see what you're capable of. The next week, the investors approved the campaign. Mark approached me quietly. Nice work. Thank you. It exceeded expectations. I know, I said, allowing myself a small smile. For the first time in months, I inhaled without feeling crushed. I was still tired. still scared. But I was no longer drowning. I was learning to breathe again. The office felt different that morning. Louder. Faster. Sophie rushed to my desk. We just confirmed 3 new investors. 3. I blinked. Your campaign worked. I tried not to smile too wide. It was a team effort. Mark walked over, holding a tablet. The numbers speak for themselves. Are they good? I asked carefully. They're strong, he admitted. Then he looked at me directly. I misjudged you. The words landed heavier than I expected. Thank you. I thought you'd slow us down, he continued. You didn't. I won't, I replied. Ethan stepped out of his office. Conference room. 10 minutes. Potential partner. Who? Sophie asked. Hayes Digital Solutions. My heart skipped. That's a decent mid-level firm, Mark said. They've been unstable lately. Hayes. I felt the air thin. Ethan looked at me. You okay? I'm fine, I lied. We gathered in the conference room. I organized the presentation slides, forcing my hands to stay steady. The door opened. I heard his voice before I looked up. Thank you for meeting with me. Then I lifted my eyes. Daniel stood at the entrance, confident smile ready, until he saw me. His face drained of color. Mia. The room went silent. I folded my hands on the table. My voice didn't shake. Welcome, Mr. Hayes. He blinked. You work here? I do. Mark glanced between us. You two know each other. Daniel cleared his throat. We used to. Let's stay focused, Ethan said calmly. Mr. Hayes, please sit. Daniel sat across from me, still staring. I didn't know you were in tech. I adapt, I replied. He tried to recover his charm. Hayes Digital is looking for strategic collaboration. We believe our client base aligns well with your expansion goals. I clicked to the next slide. We've reviewed your recent performance reports. His jaw tightened slightly. And? There's potential, I said evenly. But there are inconsistencies in your revenue projections. Mark added, Q3 was weak. Daniel looked at me again. We had temporary setbacks. Temporary? I asked. Your investor retention dropped by 15%. His eyes sharpened. You've done your homework. I always do. Ethan leaned back. Why should we partner with you? Daniel answered smoothly, but I could hear strain under his voice. Because I know how to build growth from nothing. The irony almost made me laugh. And how do you handle pressure? I asked quietly. He hesitated. Just for a second. I manage it, he said. I met his gaze without blinking. Good. Because we don't collapse when things get difficult. The silence between us carried more history than anyone else in the room understood. Sophie shifted beside me. Our brand is built on resilience. Daniel looked at me like he was seeing someone new. You've changed, he said softly. Yes, I replied. Ethan stood. We'll review internally and get back to you. Daniel rose slowly. Of course. As he reached the door, he paused. Mia. I didn't expect this. I gave him a professional smile. Neither did I. When the door closed, I exhaled. Mark let out a low whistle. That was intense. You handled him well, Ethan said. I handled business, I corrected. Inside, something had shifted. For the first time, I wasn't the one asking him to stay. He was the one asking for access. And I held the door. Daniel caught up to me in the lobby. Mia, wait. I kept walking. This isn't appropriate. Just 5 minutes. I stopped but didn't turn around. You have 3. He stepped closer. I didn't expect to see you like this. I faced him slowly. Like what? Surviving. That's not what I meant. It sounded like it. He rubbed the back of his neck. I used to find that gesture charming. Now it just looked nervous. You look Different, he said. I am. You're colder. I'm focused. He studied my face. You used to need me. I let out a quiet breath. I needed support. That's different. He looked away. Things got complicated. They got hard, I corrected. And you left. He flinched. I thought I was drowning too. So you pushed me under first. That's not fair. Neither was your timing. He exhaled sharply. Vanessa left. The word surprised me, but I kept my expression steady. I'm sorry to hear that. You don't sound sorry. I don't know how you want me to sound. He leaned against the wall. She said my company was unstable, that I wasn't growing fast enough. And she doesn't date uncertainty. I almost laughed at the irony. That must be difficult. You think this is funny? No, I said calmly. I think it's familiar. He looked at me, really looked at me. I made mistakes. Yes. I was under pressure. So was I. I know that now. Do you? I asked softly. He ran a hand through his hair. When your mom got sick, I panicked. You called me dramatic. I didn't know how to handle it. You didn't try. His voice dropped. I was scared. Of what? Failing. Being stuck. Watching everything collapse. That's life, I said. It collapses sometimes. He shook his head. You were falling apart, Mia. I was grieving. You needed more than I could give. I felt the old ache rise in my chest. I swallowed it down. You didn't even try to give anything, I said quietly. He stepped closer. Seeing you in there today. Confident, respected, it's strange. Why? Because I remember you crying in my arms. I remember you walking away. Silence stretched between us. I didn't expect you to rise like this, he admitted. That's the difference between us, I replied. When things break, I rebuild. He looked at the floor. I never thought you were weak. You thought I was too much. I was wrong. The words almost softened me. Almost. I still cared about you, he added. I know, I said. But caring without staying isn't love. He closed his eyes briefly. Do you hate me? I considered it. No, I answered honestly. I don't. Then what do you feel? Grateful. His eyes snapped open. For what? For learning I can survive without you. He had no response. I walked toward the exit, my step steady. My heart still hurt. But it no longer controlled me. Ethan closed the office door behind us. So, he said, what do you think about Hayes Digital? I crossed my arms. You want my honest opinion? Always. They're unstable. Financially. Yes. And personally? He asked carefully. I held his gaze. That shouldn't matter. It matters to me if it affects you. I can handle Daniel. That's not what I'm asking. I looked down at the table. You're considering rejecting them, aren't you? I am, he admitted. Their projections are weak. And after seeing the tension in that room. You think I'd sabotage it? I think you've been hurt. I let out a slow breath. That's not the same thing. He studied me. If I walk away from this deal, it won't hurt us much. It might destroy them. The word destroy echoed in my chest. Part of me whispered, let it. I imagined Daniel losing everything. Feeling small. Feeling abandoned. Say the word, Ethan said quietly. And I'll end it. I looked at him sharply. You'd do that? For you? Yes. The power in that offer scared me. That night, I sat beside my mother's bed. Mom, I said softly, what if you had the chance to get even with someone who hurt you? She opened her eyes slowly. Does it fix the hurt? No. Does it fix you? I hesitated. Maybe it would feel good. She gave me a tired smile. For how long? I didn't answer. She reached for my hand. Don't become bitter, Mia. I'm not bitter. You're tempted. I swallowed. He left when we needed him most. And you survived. That's not the point. It is, she said gently. Pain can make you stronger. Or smaller. I looked away. What if he deserves to fail? Maybe he does, she replied. But that's not your job. Her words followed me home. The next morning, I found Nurse Clara adjusting my mother's four. You look troubled, she said. I have a choice to make. Is it about revenge? I blinked. How did you know? She smiled softly. Because your eyes look heavy. I could ruin someone's chance at recovery, I admitted. And they once ruined mine. She nodded. And who would you become? I don't know. You're stronger than you think, she reminded me. Strength isn't crushing someone weaker. It's standing tall without pushing. I closed my eyes for a moment. Later that day, I stepped into Ethan's office. Have you decided? He asked. Yes. He leaned back. Tell me. I kept my voice steady. Make the decision based on business. Not me. He searched my face. You're sure? Yes. You don't want payback. I want peace. He nodded slowly. Then we'll evaluate strictly on performance. I felt something shift inside me. I wasn't choosing Daniel. I was choosing myself. And that felt stronger than revenge. And my phone rang at 11:47 p.m. I knew it was him before I looked at the screen. Daniel Hayes, the caller ID read. I almost didn't answer. But I did. Hello. I said. There was silence on the other end. Then, finally, Mia, it's me. I know, I said calmly. Why are you calling this late? He sighed heavily. Have you seen the news? No. Hayes Digital lost 2 major investors today. I sat up in bed. That's serious. They pulled out after reviewing our cash flow projections. I stayed quiet. I messed up, he said quietly. I didn't respond. You're not going to say anything, he asked. I'm listening. I thought expansion would fix everything, he continued. But I moved too fast. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Because you were right. Those words hung in the air. I leaned against my headboard. About what? Everything, he said. Risk management. Growth pacing. I ignored it. I inhaled slowly. That sounds like something you need to fix. You're not angry. I don't have energy for anger, I said honestly. You hate me that much. No, I said. I just moved on. He went quiet again. I could hear traffic through his end of the line. Vanessa left me, he said suddenly. I saw the posts, I said. She said I was unstable. I'm sorry. You don't sound sorry. I don't know how you want me to sound, I repeated his old words quietly. He exhaled sharply. You're colder. I'm stronger. I hurt you, he said. I know that now. Yes. I thought I was protecting myself, he continued. But I destroyed everything instead. Sometimes fear looks like control, I said. You've changed so much. I had to. Silence stretched between us. Do you remember when you said I was too much? I asked. Yes, he said quietly. I believed you for a long time. I was wrong. I know, I said. But that doesn't change what happened. He sounded tired. I thought success would make me happy. It didn't. Success doesn't replace people. I see that now. I stared at my reflection in the dark window. What do you want from me, Daniel? I don't know, he admitted. Maybe forgiveness. I can't give that to you yet. I understand. No, I said softly. You don't get to understand easily. You have to live with it. He didn't argue. I heard your company might lay off staff, I said. Yes. That's not my responsibility, I added. I know. I took a slow breath. You made your choices. Now you face them. I wish I had treated you differently. Me too. Another long silence. Are you happy? He asked suddenly. Yes, I said without hesitation. Not perfect, but stable. That's good, he said softly. I have to go, I told him. Okay. I didn't wait for him to say anything else. I ended the call. I set my phone down and lay back on the bed. I didn't feel revenge. I didn't feel joy at his collapse. Just quiet peace. His empire was cracking. But I didn't push it. Karma was already doing its work. Executive Director, Sophie shouted, hugging me. Say it again. I still can't believe it, I said, laughing. It feels fake. It's not fake, she said. You earned this. Ethan walked in. She's right. I thought you would make me give a speech, I said. I will, he replied. But not today. Thank you, I said quietly. He studied me. You're different now. Better or worse? Stronger. I smiled but didn't respond. Later, in the office kitchen, Sophie leaned against the counter. Ethan likes you. I almost choked on my coffee. What? Don't act shocked, she said. He watches you when you're not looking. He's just supportive. He's careful, she corrected. Big difference. I'm not ready for that, I said. I know, she replied. And he knows too. That night, I worked late reviewing expansion strategies. Ethan knocked on my door. Still here. I want this campaign perfect. You already made it perfect. I don't trust perfect, I said. He stepped inside. You never used to doubt yourself like this. I used to need approval. And now? Now I want results. He smiled slightly. You've grown. Did I grow, or just harden? Both, he said. I looked out the window. You ever regret trusting me with this position? No, he said immediately. Why not? Because you fight for everything you build, he said. That's rare. His words stayed with me that week. Months passed fast. My mother's health improved. You look powerful in that suit, she told me during a visit. I feel powerful, I admitted. Good, she said. But stay kind. I will. Then came the gala. I stood in the hotel mirror adjusting my black dress. Sophie entered. You look dangerous. I look professional. You look untouchable. I hope so, I said. At the gala, cameras flashed when I walked in. Executive Director Carter, someone said. Congratulations on the expansion deal. Thank you, I replied. I felt eyes on me. I knew who was watching. I turned slowly. Daniel stood near the bar. He looked thinner. Tired. Still handsome, but something was missing. Confidence. He walked toward me slowly. Mia. Hello, Daniel. You look incredible, he said. Thank you. You're surrounded by investors, he said. I heard about your new deal. News travels fast. You built something impressive. I had help, I said. He shook his head. You built this. I see that now. He looked smaller somehow. Not physically. Emotionally. I heard about your layoffs, I said carefully. He nodded. Bad timing. Bad decisions. Are you okay? He laughed quietly. I deserved that question. We stood in silence. You're happy, he said. Yes. With Ethan. With my life, I corrected. He nodded slowly. I regret a lot. I know. I was scared of losing control, he said. So I lost you instead. I didn't respond immediately. I don't hate you, I said finally. But you don't need me. No, I said softly. I don't. He looked at me like he was memorizing my face. You became someone I don't recognize, he said. That was the goal, I replied. He stepped back. Take care of yourself, Mia. You too, Daniel. I turned away. I didn't feel sadness. Just quiet victory. I was no longer the girl who begged someone to stay. I was the woman who walked into rooms and owned them. The night air outside the gala felt colder than inside. I was about to step into my car when I heard his voice. Mia, wait. I closed my eyes for a second. Then I turned. You keep finding me at exits, Daniel. He stood there, hands in his pockets. Nervous. Different from the confident man I once knew. I needed to talk to you, he said. You always do when things fall apart. He winced. That's fair. What do you want, Daniel? I asked. He stepped closer. I was scared. Scared of what? I asked quietly. Of your pain, he said. When your mom got sick. When you lost your job. I didn't know how to handle it. So you left, I said. I thought distance would help. It helped you, I corrected. Not me. He looked down. You look stronger now. I am. I can see that. Silence stretched between us. I could hear music faintly from inside the hotel. I messed up, he said suddenly. I know that now. I know you do, I replied. I thought success was everything, he continued. I thought I could build a life without dealing with emotional chaos. You called my life chaos, I said. I was wrong. I crossed my arms. What do you want from me now? I don't know, he admitted. Forgiveness. Closure. Another chance to talk. Pick one, I said. He swallowed. I was scared of losing control of my life. When things got hard, I pushed you away. You pushed me away when I needed you most. His voice cracked slightly. I remember you crying in the hospital hallway. I remember you hanging up on me. He flinched like I had physically hit him. I needed you at my worst, I said slowly. You left. Now you see me at my best, and you want back in. He didn't speak immediately. Then he said, yes. My chest stayed calm. No panic. No emotional collapse. That's not how love works, I said. I know. You don't get to leave when I'm broken and return when I'm successful. I know that too. He suddenly looked tired, older somehow. I lost Vanessa. I lost my company stability. I lost everything I thought mattered. You're learning, I said. But I lost you first, he said quietly. Yes. He took a shaky breath. Then tears came. Not loud. Just quiet tears. I'm sorry, he said. I know that doesn't fix anything. It doesn't, I said gently. But I still need to say it. I know. We stood there for a long moment. I don't hate you, I told him. But you don't need me, he said. No, I said. I don't. He nodded slowly. You deserve someone who stays when life gets ugly. I agree. He stepped back. Take care of yourself, Mia. You too, Daniel. I turned and walked toward my car. My heart felt lighter, not heavier. Closure didn't feel like revenge. It felt like silence after a storm. My phone buzzed while I was reviewing quarterly reports. A message from Daniel. I stared at his name for a long moment before opening it. Daniel, I'm proud of you. I didn't answer immediately. Instead, I sat back in my chair and read it again. Sophie walked by. Bad news. No, I said. Actually, good news. Then why do you look like that? Like what? Like you're saying goodbye to something. I didn't respond. Later, I stepped outside the office balcony. The city air felt softer than I expected. I typed a reply but deleted it twice. Finally, I sent one message. Me, thank you. Nothing else. No arguments. No emotional speeches. Just silence. I felt lighter. That evening, I visited my mother at the rehabilitation center. She was sitting near the window, sunlight falling across her face. You look happier, she said. I feel different, I replied. Good different. Strong different. She smiled. Sit with me. I pulled a chair beside her. How are you feeling? Better every day, she said. Thanks to you. I just paid the bills, I said. You did the healing. She laughed softly. You sound like a businesswoman now. I am one. She studied me. You didn't mention Daniel lately. He lost his company, I said simply. She nodded slowly. And how do you feel about that? Nothing, I said honestly. Not anger. Not happiness. Just peace. That's growth, she said. I think so. We sat quietly for a while. I watched dust particles move through the sunlight. Do you still love him? She asked suddenly. I thought about it. I loved who he was when I believed in him, I said. Not who he became when things got hard. She squeezed my hand. You chose yourself. I had to, I said. She smiled. I'm proud of you too. The words felt heavier than Daniel's message. Later that night, I walked home alone. The city lights felt softer. Not lonely. Just quiet. I remembered the hospital hallway. My shaking hands. Daniel's voice telling me I was too much. Now I walked steadily. I took out my phone one last time. I didn't check his messages again. Instead, I looked at my reflection in the dark screen. I survived, I whispered to myself. And I realized something simple and powerful. Survival was my revenge. Not by destroying him, but by becoming someone he could no longer reach. Ethan knocked on my office door. Busy. Always, I said. But come in. He stepped inside. You've been working late again. I like progress, I said. He leaned against the desk. You forget to eat when you like progress. I ate lunch. Coffee isn't lunch. I smiled. You sound like my mother. That's not a bad thing. Silence stayed comfortable between us. Then he said, I want to ask you something. Sounds serious. It is, he said. Not as your boss. Not as your business partner. My heart slowed. Then as what? As someone who cares about you. I didn't speak immediately. He continued, would you go on a real date with me? I felt my chest tighten. Not fear. Not pain. Just careful thinking. Not because I helped you rebuild, he added quickly. Not because you feel grateful. I looked at him. You really thought about that? I did. I exhaled slowly. I like you, Ethan. That's a start. But I'm still healing. I know. I don't want someone who saves me, I said. I want someone who walks beside me. That's exactly what I want, he said. I nodded slowly. Then yes. I'll go on a date with you. He smiled, relieved. Good. Because I was nervous. You don't look nervous. I'm inside, he admitted. Later that night, I walked to the rooftop balcony alone. City lights spread below me. Peace felt heavier than revenge ever had. My phone buzzed once. Daniel's name appeared, but I didn't open the message. Instead, I spoke quietly to myself. He left me when I was drowning, I whispered. Now I stand on solid ground. The wind moved softly around me, and the only person who saved me, I paused, feeling strong, steady, complete, was me. I turned off my phone. I didn't need closure from him anymore. My future was louder than my past.